Hello everybody, this is another episode from the Indoor Gardener, and I would like to talk about the orchid species I currently have in my collection. Right, so the first one that I would like to show you is the Masdevallia ova-avis, and still putting out some new growths. Since the last time I gave some updates about this one, and definitely the two clay pot system really helps in providing moisture and at the same time cool temperatures through evaporative cooling for this species, Masdevallia species from Ecuador. Definitely is one of the slowest growing orchids in my collection, and I've read and people or friends that I've talked to definitely say that this plant is a slow grower compared to their hybrids, and this is especially true for Masdevallias. The second one, another slow grower, is this species from Taiwan. This is Haraella ordorata. It's currently in bud now, but it's not really fully open. And the flower basically looks like a bug that it attracts for pollination. And a slow grower, but it puts out new growths and new fans, new spikes, and I'm not complaining. But it's a miniature at the same time. I really like it, and that's one of the reasons why I like orchid species, taking care of orchid species, because the excitement it brings to you in terms of like being able to grow a plant that also can be found in the wild. You know, it also grows in the wild, and of course each plant has specific requirements depending on what type of environment it came from, you know. So you try to imitate all of those conditions so you'd be successful in growing them. They might be slow growers, but being able to put up with the challenge is basically all the reason that you would like to try growing this in your, in your care. So definitely recommend this. This is another species, but it's much more of like a cultivar. Definitely this is how you would not see it in the wild, because this is a cultivar of a species. So they try to look for characteristics that they want in the plant, and they just maintain that by crossing it with similar plants with the same particular features. For this one, this is quite a stubby Neofinetia falcata. So this is an Esichavo. That's what it says there. And it's a relatively slow growing bandaceous plant in a miniature. Definitely it's a very slow grower compared to my Neostylus Nusneri. But I really like it, and it's very special in terms of like the way it looks. That's why I like it being in my collection for my bandaceous types. I have a Vanda, Pachara Delight, and definitely that is a much faster grower in terms of root growth and fan creation, like in terms of leaf growth. But still, this is like a special plant for me. Orchid species have definitely a distinct look compared to hybrids. That's why that's one of the reasons like people like to grow them in their home, their greenhouses, and everything like that. In my case, I'm growing inside the home, so I've tried to like grow orchids that are quite miniaturized, so you would say, quite small. They don't take a lot of space. This is another small orchid species, Phalaenopsis species. This is Phalaenopsis philippinensis. It's a mottled type Phalaenopsis. It came from of course this is from Japan here. So Ecuador, Taiwan, Japan, Philippines. And this one is, of course, it's been crossed with its sibling. That's one of the main issues with orchid species, because they don't have the hybrid vigor compared to Phalaenopsis hybrids in this case. And definitely this Phalaenopsis is much more slower in growth compared to my Phalaenopsis hybrids, and that's not quite surprising. That new leaf growth, by the way, has been there for a month, so you can imagine how how slow that is in terms of growth rate. The Cattleya alliance and oncidium alliance species, it's a different story anyhow compared to these mendacious plants. Well, the Masdevallia is not a mendacious plant, but it's also a slow grower compared to Cattleya alliance and oncidium alliance species. This is a Cattleya walkeriana and came from Brazil, I would think. So pretty much oncidiums and Cattleyas came from South America. And this one is a relatively fast grower because I only had it for a few days, a few weeks, and it's already putting out new growths like that big. They were not there before when I got it, and that's good. I really like that in terms of like this fast growth. So this one, the coconut orchid, everybody knows about this, Maxillaria tenuifolia. This is a really fast grower, really recommended for beginners. And it's quite easy to find in all of the nurseries here in the United States. This is a primary hybrid of Cattleya. This is the Aclandia crossed with guttata. This is also known as the Cattleya landate. This is another primary cross. This is the Brassavola little stars crossed between nodosa and cordata. This is also a fast grower, but I would think that's even these are primary hybrids in orchid species. They are still a lot slower, I would think, slow growing compared to their hybrid counterparts. This is the last one that I want to show you. This is the Dendrobium cruentum. I featured this before, and I'm gonna show here like one example of it being a slow grower or slow mover in anyhow. This flower has been like trying to open for like almost 2 weeks now, and still it's not haven't fully opened yet. That leaf on the right, or I mean the petal on the right has been had just opened like this morning, and this is quite like very surprising for a plant that's trying to bloom for a while now. So these are all the orchid species and primary hybrids that I currently have in my collection. I might have like a couple of more out there, but these are the only ones that I was able to take out from my shelf. And definitely I recommend this for people who are trying to look for smaller orchid species to try to take care at home. And if you have any suggestions for me to take up, like get for my own collection that you currently have in your collection, that you definitely recommend me to buy and grow it inside my environment, just let me know in the comment section and try to look it up. And also, if you have any description about where to get it, like from eBay or like whatever orchid nursery that I can buy it from, just let me know also in the comment section. All right, thank you for listening. Bye bye.